Welcome to Dino Loves Podcast. I'm your host, Bultum, and I'm thrilled you're back for another episode. Last week we had Amelia on, and it was really inspiring about her story on how she grew out of Barney when she was 6 years old, and after like many years later, Barney returned back into her heart and still is today. It's really inspiring. Like people who grew out of Barney is now like coming back and feeling the nostalgia of this series. And that's what we have this week is we have Jared Robinson. He does like a lot of stuff on YouTube and he definitely does like stuff with drawings of Barney. There's like crossover stuff like Barney and the Mini Pop Kids and Cyber Chase and all this other brands and it's really interesting and guess what? We have him here today. Well, how are you, Jared?
I'm doing really well. A little nervous, but I'm doing great. I'm doing great to be on here.
That's great. How are you during this pandemic?
I am actually doing better than most people would expect. Would
Oh,
expect. Well, yes, I am pretty fed up with hearing it. Well, believe it or not, I was more scared than fed up about it at first, and I'm now more fed up than ever. But with the news that they lived in the mask mandates,
yep.
we gonna be free. We're almost free, people.
And we're both in Canada, so we're getting those same
Yes,
restrictions as well.
don't I know it?
Yeah,
Yes, we both live up in the Great North. I mean, sure, there are some things that are pretty shady, but it's good. Like we find a way. We find ways
yeah.
to work around. We
I
we, we have
heard,
fun.
I've heard, after this pandemic, Barney may come back doing some live shows up here in Canada with the Mattel team and the Kodomo team. I've heard like some many stuff like that's going to happen soon.
That's the best part of it all.
And speaking of like Barney, how were you introduced to Barney as a child?
Now that I already said in younger, but the thing about it is, like, I don't think I was, according to my mom, I don't think I was even one when. No, wait. I don't think I was even 2 years old when I was introduced to Barney. I don't exactly remember when. Like, I remember like a much older friend of mine had quite a couple Barney dolls of his own. Like, he had like the gold. He had a lot of like them old like Barney plushes back in the day. Back in the day, like used to have like with Golden Bear and all that.
Right.
Like, I distinctly remember like he gave me like one of them closed mouth ones with like the purple toes. Now that one was
Oh,
probably
yes.
like my main doll growing up
Yeah,
growing
I
up.
have that
So
one.
that and I yes, but I think one of my very first ones beside that was this like little beanbag Barney that I had. And again, I don't think, according to my mom, I don't think I was even two when I was introduced to the purple dude. And and of course, like over the years, I'd be watching the videos, and the rest they say is history.
Yeah.
I'm a devoted Barney buddy, and if anybody tries to tries to come for his tail, you can bet that I'll be first in line to defend him.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you because Barney is the best character no matter what.
Where's the
Uh,
lie?
yeah. Do you have a favorite Barney home video?
Oh, again, there's just so many to choose from because I grew up on quite a lot of them. Let's see. Like, I watched a lot of the second generation growing up, and a couple of first generation too. Like, I do remember like faintly. Like, I remember like in terms of like the first generation, I remember watching like Barney's Fun and Games. That was
Mhm.
one, and I once owned the DVD of Musical Scrapbook.
Oh,
I had that, but most of my Barney memories were pretty much from like second gen onwards. So out of that, I can't really say I can choose like a definitive favorite. But if I had to randomly choose one, I'd have to say Barney's Adventure Bus because that's definitely one of the ones that stood out to me. Like people say that'd be one, but I'm like, why? Like Barney has his own like magic bus, and they be going to all these like imaginary destinations and
Mm-hmm.
all that, like a castle, a piece of plate. But in
Right.
terms of first generation, I do remember Imagination Island a lot of that, a lot. Like, fun fact, I actually read the book first before actually watching the special on DVD.
Oh wow.
I read the book first. I read the book first before watching Imagination Island, the actual special,
Mm-hmm.
and that was actually a pretty eye-opening experience for me. Like I had quite a couple Barney books growing up as well. Like Just Imagine What Barney was my main one. My mom used to love reading that to me as a kid. And then and well, but in terms of like home video, if I had to choose like one randomly that sticks out to me a lot, I'd have to say Barney's Adventure Bus.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, Barney's Adventure Bus was like one of those interesting ones. Like, it was like the first video for David Bernard Wolf to do the Barney music on the videos,
Yes.
and we were introduced to new songs. Like, I would say "The Land of Make Believe," and
Yeah, that's a classic.
we were
That's a classic song.
we were introduced to two brand new kids, which we all know and love was Robert and Keisha, biggest
Yes.
one of the big kids in the second generation of Barney and Friends.
Yes, indeed. 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 Like though that video is definitely unique, like
Yeah,
in terms of its content and the music, like with David Bernard Wolf, like his end credits scene in that video always stands out to me. Like, especially when it's
yeah,
ending. I don't know why I always want to cry because the adventure's over.
yeah,
And and I feel like that's pretty much the closest we're ever gonna get to a Barney's version of Magic School Bus, y'all. Okay, that's
I
pretty
would
much the
say that.
closest we're ever gonna get
Yeah.
because Barney having a magic bus, they
Hmm.
should bring the adventure bus back. The fact that they haven't brought the adventure bus back is a crime. Like they could have made a sort of sequel, like what they did, like with Land of Make Believe, which people kind of say is kind of spiritual success, or at least I say the spiritual successor to Imagination Island.
Hmm.
They could have done something like that.
Yeah, speaking of like Land of Make Believe, we all know is like it was filmed on Universal Studios and like
Yes.
SeaWorld and all that stuff. And there was also another video that they did that was like in the real world, Barney's Great Adventure. What was
Yes, the movie.
what's your thoughts on Barney's Great Adventure?
Honestly, it still stands the test of time as one of my favorite movies to this day. Like people seem to give it a lot of flack, which again I understand, but there were just some things beyond the people's control that just happened. You know what I mean? But it still tries its best to introduce Barney to the real world. Okay, like you know what I
Right.
mean? Like it brought Barney over to our real world, and I love the fact that it was kind of like it was a bit meta with like Cody, like like totally personifying like the Barney haters and all that. I love how meta it is. It
Yeah.
is like, and even though like my people, Baby Bop and BJ, like they still were in that movie, like, and they were still really good. Like I love like the humor that they brought along. I mean, we because it just wouldn't be a Barney movie like if we didn't have fun. If we didn't have fun with like Baby Bop with the Ceratop siblings. Like
Yeah.
I just love them.
That's Stephen White. He brought them. He makes
Period.
he does like the best jokes in like the Barney franchise.
Yes, I
Definitely.
know. Like the squabbles, like he be having like Baby Bop and BJ do sometimes like I don't know, like it always like cracks me up. Like that one time and Walk Around the Block with Barney, like
Yes.
when they just be going back and forth and Baby Bop like blew the confetti through the treehouse phone. Oh
That's
my
comedy gold.
goodness.
That should have won
Period.
an Emmy.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's a crime. That's a
Hmm.
crime. Oh.
And we were just talking about like the Land of Make Believe, the song. And do you have any favorite Barney songs?
again, there's so many to choose from. I'm like, of course, I put Land of Make Believe on that list. It's
Hmm.
again a classic. But if I but Just Imagine is wonderful.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
Imagine, it's just like I'm going as far to say I call it like the second anthem to Barney because just like had it just does so much for Barney as a character and just enforces him as like the mentor that he is to kids and everybody in this world
Hmm.
and just and it just shows like the wonders what imagination can do. I mean, it even represents Barney as an imaginary character halfway
Yeah.
through the song. Like it's just it's just G which is just genius. Like I love the rendition that they did in like Christmas Star. Like I don't know why I just
Yeah.
gravitate to that rendition more. Like I especially love that they use the instrumental in the Imagination Island DVD menu and
Yeah.
that just always stuck out to my like I mean that's the reason why I love the instrumental version of that song better and how they managed to theme that in Imagination Island with the reprise and the sunset. Oh my god, yes.
The Barney team did a great job on
Wonderful.
that.
Period. Bob
Yeah.
Singleton did what had to be done in that special.
Hmm.
But in
As you
terms of
know,
like
as we know,
other
yeah, as
I
we know,
I had other Barney songs like Mr. Knickerbocker and all of that.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
Mr. Knickerbocker.
you were saying. Oh, sorry, I interrupted.
It's okay. As you know, we lost a Day in the Park with Barney attraction, and
Mm-hmm.
it was like about a year and a half ago. What are your thoughts about like after a 25-year run?
It did while yes, it's a crime. It's a crime that we lost such an iconic attraction. Like I'm at least glad that I got to see it once a couple of years ago myself, which it was a dream come true. Like I always saw videos on YouTube, but then a couple of years ago on a family vacation to Florida, we finally got to go there. That was probably the first thing I ran to because I knew like it was there. But luckily I got there just in time when they started the show with Mr. Peekaboo's song and everything and they
Hmm.
let us into the park. And it was just a magical experience. And I even got to hug the big dude himself. Like I don't know, like I don't know. I felt 6 years old, and I just felt like I was 6 years old playing in the front yard with my Barney doll again. Like it was awesome, and the
Yeah,
fact that they tore it down, despite the fact that it was such an awesome attraction that drew a lot of people in. Come on, you can't just do that. Come on
yeah,
now. Come on now. At least have Barney around for the meet and greets. At least have the people see him, or have him like be in the parade, like they did back in the day, or like around like 93, like when they
right.
have Barney and Baby Bop in the parade. Like at least have them in it. At least
Yeah.
have them in it. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, but rumors are saying that there it might be a Barney and Friends reboot in the near future, possibly either this year or next year. What are your thoughts on that, on those rumors?
I'm just happy that Barney be coming back, y'all. I'm just happy that he's coming back in some way, shape, or form. Like I normally don't use this. Like I like to call like Barney's like resurgence, like a second coming of preschool Christ or something, because like that's what Barney is. Like he is the like of course Sesame Street is like, but Barney he carried the 90s. He is the blueprint.
Yeah.
He is Barney the dinosaur in terms of his age being 200 million years. He's technically the blueprint. He's technically the blueprint for all of that. He
Mm.
came through with all of that, and the fact that he's come back to a new gen, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Like even though it's slow but sure, I still love the fact that he's coming back and he's still relevant as ever.
I understand. Like, and then there's also a movie that's coming out probably
Daniel
soon.
Kaluuya.
Yeah, with Daniel Kaluuya with Mattel Films. And what are your thoughts on the plot of the movie?
Again, I do understand people's backlash, but people really love to forget great adventure. Like the, I mean, like people seem to forget the closest we ever got to that kind of like concept was with Cody and the Barney haters in the first movie,
Hmm.
But that was just a kind of a little, but having it like be the main plot, like I would love to see how they pulled that, how would they would pull that off, even though like people aren't too fond of like the later stuff of Barney. Like I don't mind it at all. At all, like it's different, but it's
Hmm.
still my boy Barney. Okay, you know what I mean? You do you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like, like it, like it, and I can't wait to see what they come up with.
yeah. And as you know, back in 2019, we actually got there was a event that Barney showed up with along with Carrie Stinson and Dean Went. What do you think of your response to when those two brought the character back to life?
I was speechless. I was speechless that they even still had the actual costume that Carrie last used. I
Yeah,
mean, literally a decade after the show ended. Like I was speechless. Like I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, is this really happening? Am I really
yeah,
seeing this? Is that is that is that really Dean doing the voice? Is
yeah,
that really, oh my lord? And like, I was just happy all around. Like, oh my goodness, this is awesome.
yeah,
Shows that they'll be shows that anybody will be happy to get on will be like they will be the first ones to get on the train to bring that purple dinosaur back to life. And just like the costume and how well Carrie performed in that
hmm,
just goes to show like that costume, that was when Barney became the true Barney. Like that's when he became.
yep, 100%. And as you know, back in like 2002, Barney's voice changed to a really nasally, lower, deep voice
Mm-hmm.
by the Radio Disney host Dean Went. What are your thoughts on Dean's voice?
Excellent. Like it's such a feat that he is the longest running Barney voice. Like,
Yes.
don't get me wrong, Bob West is the OG. But the
Hmm.
thing about it is, I love how like they bring out different sides to the character. Like, think of a voice as like bringing a different side out to Barney. Like he's still the same Barney, just with a different side to his personality and all that. Like he that just makes him more human than ever. Like Dean brings out more of Barney's mature and kind of fatherly figure side. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
while Tim, and Duncan bring out Barney's more playful side, Dean, while still very
Yep.
playful and all that, he's kind of like that fatherly figure, like which Barney is. He is this fatherly figure and friend, which we love to see.
Yeah. And as you know, they also had a new character when Dean came in, Riff.
Riff.
What's your thoughts on Riff?
Do I even need to say it in terms of my background? Riff is my boy. Riff is awesome. Okay, like people be giving Riff too much flack, but like why? Riff is still a good character, and him and BJ are still really different. Like, when was the last time you saw BJ invent anything? Ugh.
Yeah. Um, long time before Riff came. And yeah, definitely. Oh man. As you know, we lost some of the cast and crew from the series, such as like Phil Cicero
Yes,
and as Stella the
yes.
storyteller. And back in 2015, we lost Miss Kepler. And what are your thoughts on that? And how did they impact on you?
A great like Style the Storyteller was probably one of my favorite characters on the show. Like I loved whenever her magic door came in. Like, I love the fact I mean, like, I always loved her stories, and I know that she's telling stories to the great gig in the sky. Like, the people are knowing how special Stella is to us.
Yes. And what about Miss
Yes.
Kepler?
Ooh, I could have sworn people said that she was still alive, y'all.
No, she's not. No.
Oh Lord, Miss
She,
Kepler, a queen, a queen. She
yes.
is a queen. Yeah, she was actually really funny on the show.
Yeah.
She was probably one. She was kind of like a toned down version of Miss Frizzle, which made sense considering that she was also the kids' science teacher. Which
Huh. I never
I
realized
can't
that.
believe I'm the only one who be seeing these similarities, these connections. The same with the Queen of Hearts and Be My Valentine Love Barney. She, in terms of personality, she is way more than Miss Frizzle, like from her red hair and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, like I cannot believe people did not catch up on that. Like I understand, but I can't believe I'm the only one that be picking up on that.
Yeah.
Yes, but
And
still, like Bryce Armstrong, Miss Etta,
yeah.
again, Miss Etta, a queen. A
Yeah.
queen. I love the fact that she stood as a foil to little Scooter McNutty. Again, just you'll see me gushing a lot about Gen 2 a lot because like all those characters like remain pretty much mainstays and like we stand those characters and we miss y'all. We miss y'all up there. As I was saying, but as I was saying, they left a great impact on the show's legacy itself. Okay, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It those characters are just awesome. Like all the characters on Barney rule.
And we get to see some of the cast and crew on this new project that's coming up. It's a Barney documentary. What are you expecting to see?
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what they have, what they come up with. Like show like who this purple dinosaur is really about. Like
Yeah.
show us behind the scenes like what this purple dude's really about, y'all.
Mm-hmm. How much
Like
did Barney? How much did Barney impact on you?
do I even need to say a great impact on me? Like so much so, like I don't even think I would be the guy I am if I hadn't been introduced to Barney at all.
Right.
If I haven't been introduced to Barney at all, I wouldn't have all the great friends I've met over the years. If I hadn't have Barney in my life, like people would love to give me flack about my imagination and all that, and they get annoyed by that. But I'm like, ciao, bye. They will never know the wonders that Barney be bringing. Like if it wasn't for Barney, I don't like my imagination would not be as potent as ever, and wouldn't give me like the great friends it's given me over the years, and all of that. It's just wonderful.
Yeah. In your own words, what makes Barney so special?
Honestly, he's so awesome. Like what makes Barney so special, you say?
Yeah.
It's well, that's actually a really like Barney to me, like he's just a special imaginary friend. Like whenever you're feeling down, he's always there to cheer. He's always there to cheer you up. No matter what the situation is, he's always there. He's always got your back.
Yeah. I 100% agree. It's like if Barney was here right now, what would be the one advice that he would give it to a child right now?
Barney was now never the
If
one
he was here
advice I would give
physically,
it. Oh, perfect.
yeah,
Never stop. You never neglect the power of your imagination. Never neglect the power of your imagination because that can be the most powerful thing, the most powerful tool anybody can have.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you with that.
because that's what Barney is. He's powered by the power of imagination. Like it's just kids using their imagination to make him come to life.
Yep, that's right.
And
All you
that and and thanks to this and thanks to this doll that one of my best friends gave to me one Christmas, I never go on an adventure or go to sleep without him because this one dude right here is a special friend for life.
yeah. Hmm.
I don't and people cannot tell me otherwise. Like I do not like when YouTube channels like Media Mementos. Yes, Media Mementos. I am calling you out if you watching this that they think Barney be treated like idiots, and I'm like, child, why? Have you even watched the show? Have you
Yeah.
even watched the show? It's Barney just treats kids as they equals, okay?
Hmm. So maybe we can just end it here, and then we can just
Like
say like, where can people reach you, and where and where would you like to people to contact you and like
for people to contact me,
yeah.
they can contact me on Instagram, Rockin' Robinson Studios, where they can find like all of the art that I make, and like I would love for people to like give some more love to the art that I do. Okay, like I obviously like I love to draw this dude right here, and I've been getting very good at been drawing him upon the cosmos. So wait for a lot more of that, and then a lot of pictures of me and all my friends. Like we have fun on Rockin' Robinson Studios, y'all.
Mhm.
Okay,
Jared, I can't thank you enough for coming today.
I can't thank you enough for having me, Bultum, a fellow Barney buddy.
Yeah.
Probably
thank
one of the Barney buddies I've ever seen, I've ever
thank you.
known. Like,
Thank you, I really appreciate that.
all right, then I best be off, y'all. It's been
Okay.
wonderful having you here.
Okay, take care, Jared.
I thank you. Thanks for having me. God
Yeah,
bless you.
yeah, thank you. And thank you everyone for coming to today's episode, and I hope you enjoyed it. Our episode's going to be on Amazon Music now, and it's going to be on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and many of other streaming services where you can listen to us. Um, we're going to be on Twitter soon, and it's going to be great. And if you want to follow our social medias, it's in the description below on our YouTube videos, like on our channel as well. And if you need something special, all you have to do is make a wish, and Barney we will be there. We'll see you next time.